Tokenomics is where DePIN design becomes economics. In this section, we'll look at how tokens attract infrastructure, reward useful work, capture real revenue, and move beyond early subsidies towards systems that can sustain themselves. We've built the DePIN foundation, then explored marketplace design and token-driven bootstrapping. Now the question shifts from growth to durability. Do these incentives create lasting value or only early momentum? That question sets up pricing, ROI, governance, and long-term alignment. At a high level, tokenomics acts like the coordination layer for a DePIN network. It signals when providers should deploy hardware, what users pay for service, what validators must stake, and how governance allocates resources. The challenge is balance. Early emissions can help bootstrap coverage, but lasting value has to come from usage, fees, reliability, and disciplined treasury design. Without that shift, incentives may grow the token economy without strengthening the network itself. Token utility is the job description of the token. In a DePIN network, the token should not exist only to trade. It can let users pay for service, reward contributors, and require operators to stake value behind their performance. It can also give holders governance rights over parameters, upgrades, and treasury spending. Most importantly, utility helps coordinate many independent actors through access rules, reputation signals, security incentives, and penalties when participants fail to deliver. That utility becomes easier to understand when you map it to participant behavior. Providers need a reason to deploy real infrastructure, so they earn rewards and may stake to signal reliability. Users create demand by paying for bandwidth, compute, storage, or data. Developers turn network capacity into applications people actually use. Governors and the treasury close the loop by adjusting incentives, funding growth, and updating rules as the network matures. Emissions are how a network pays contributors before the marketplace can fully support them. In DePIN, that can be powerful because early operators need a reason to deploy hardware, cover costs, and take risk. But subsidies should not become permanent. Decay schedules, halvings, caps, and vesting can help shift rewards from new issuance toward real demand. The risk is straightforward. If token supply grows faster than useful network activity, rewards become inflation rather than value creation. Early DePIN rewards often pay for presence, devices installed, coverage expanded, or capacity made available. That helps solve the cold start problem. Over time, however, the incentive has to move toward useful work. Real usage, reliable uptime, strong performance, and customer value. This transition reduces speculative farming and wasted hardware, and moves the network from token-subsidized growth toward revenue-supported sustainability. Reward design is behavior design. If payouts are too simple, contributors chase whatever is easiest to fake, such as duplicate devices, token farming, or meaningless activity. If formulas are too complex, honest operators may struggle to predict returns or trust the system. The goal is a workable middle ground. Reward measurable value like uptime, coverage quality, throughput, accuracy, or utilization, while adding anti-gaming checks. Good formulas are transparent enough to plan around and flexible enough to evolve. Token design is not only about total supply. It also depends on who receives tokens, when they can sell, and whether the network can fund future growth. Vesting helps prevent insiders from exiting too early and keeps teams, investors, and contributors aligned over time. Treasury design matters because DePIN networks need ongoing capital for grants, liquidity, audits, subsidies, and infrastructure. If allocations are too concentrated or unlocks happen too quickly, trust and market stability can weaken. Revenue is where DePIN economics become real. Customers pay for access through service fees, commissions, contracts, subscriptions, or usage-based pricing. The protocol then routes that income to the people and systems that keep the network alive. Operators who supply infrastructure, a treasury for development, token mechanisms for alignment, and grants for ecosystem growth. The key question is whether that revenue comes from genuine demand, because sustainable value capture cannot depend on speculative trading alone. Burns, buybacks, and demand sinks are tools for connecting token value to network activity. A burn reduces circulating supply when users pay fees or consume services. A buyback uses protocol revenue to purchase tokens from the market. Demand sinks create reasons to hold or use the token, such as staking, access, governance, or collateral. But these mechanisms do not create value on their own. They only matter when real usage exists underneath them. Staking works like a security deposit for network operators. By locking value, operators signal commitment and create a cost for bad behavior. If they deliver reliable coverage, uptime, accurate location data, or clean measurements, they earn rewards. If they cheat, spoof, go offline, or submit false data, slashing can take part of that stake. The key is balance. Penalties must be strong enough to protect users, but not so expensive that only large players can participate. Governance is how a DePIN economy adapts over time. It determines who can adjust emissions, reward weights, fee splits, slashing thresholds, treasury grants, and upgrades. Token voting gives owners a voice, but it can also concentrate power. That is why many networks add delegation, councils, working groups, or staged decentralization. The goal is not governance for its own sake. It is responsible adjustment as demand, competition, and infrastructure costs change. Tokenomics should be evaluated as an operating model, not a promise. The core question is simple: how much real revenue supports the network, and how much is still subsidy? Track emissions, utilization, retention, operator ROI, token velocity, unlocks, and treasury runway. Then stress test harsher conditions: lower token prices, slower demand, higher hardware costs, more competition, and reduced rewards. Strong DePIN systems get healthier as usage grows. Weak ones only look healthy while incentives are high. The core lesson is that DePIN tokenomics cannot stop at rewards. Tokens must coordinate infrastructure, secure service quality, and connect usage to value capture. Emissions can bootstrap supply, but long-term sustainability comes from real demand, disciplined treasuries, durable revenue flows, and incentives that still work under real-world economics.